Hello, we are going to be doing, I say we, but I will be doing a reading on Alexei Navalny very quickly just to check in with his health. He is a Gemini. He returned to Russia in January of this year, and in February he was imprisoned for what he claims are, and I'm sure he's correct, are bogus charges created against him, but he said trumped up charges, which I think probably is much more appropriate given that it's Vlad being the one to torture him since he's been back. Now, he's lost a lot of weight, he's on hunger strike, and the latest thing is that they're saying that they're going to force feed him unless he eats. And the thing is that he is asked for an outside doctor because he's been poisoned, and of course they're not allowing it. So they're having this loggerheads back and forth. So I just want to check on Alexei. And I ask my spiritual mentors, I cannot speak today, but I'm trying. It's my last reading of the day on camera. I'm asking for a really good one. Let me read clearly and accurately today, please, on this. And everything. Thank you. So Alexei Navalny, he is a Gemini. His wife is a fire sign. She is Leo. So just to have that established. So I will expect for Alexei swords, and for her, if she shows up, she's going to be wands. So let's just see. What does the Creator, the universe, want to share with us? Alexei's guides through the tarot. What do we need to know about him and his condition? And anything else that we need to know. Okay. We get the Five of Wands. There is a struggle back and forth that is going on with him. And I do believe he's also being physically roughed up, bullied. Every day, I think, is a fight, is an argument to get something. I think they're making it as difficult and as frustrating as possible. So I see this clash going on, and it really, I think, represents a greater clash of the growing tide of people that are sick of Vladimir Putin versus Vladimir Putin and the kind of antiquated thinking bunch that are starting to lose hold. Because I do think it is at that point. And we're given temperance. So this needs to be balanced. We're being told that there needs to be somebody coming and stepping in and getting involved in the middle of this. Because he may not be making the best choices either himself, in his state of mind and in his determination, I'm feeling, and certainly they are not going to give him, they want to break him. So my concern is that he might not be thinking as best as he could for himself. So let's just see what happens, though. Based on the Six of Pentacles, this is based on getting help, and he has been asking to receive outside help from his own doctor, and they have denied it. And I think they should be forced to have to acquiesce. There's no reason why it should be a problem, unless there's a problem. And what's crowning him is the Wheel of Fortune. This is karmic. This is something that he has come to do, and this specific time is a catalytic time, and he is wanting to change the game up. by getting this battle won. Even though it doesn't seem that significant to outsiders, it's, I think, tremendous, will have a tremendous impact. And that's what he's aiming for. To bring awareness and bring all eyes more squarely on Putin and less now distracted by Donald's dance on the world stage. The sun falls in his recent past, and this, for me, is saying in the recent past we've had the revelation that the outside world believes, of course, that he was poisoned by Putin. And he has already, in my opinion, been able to enlighten and cause more enlightenment. But I think he's not finished yet in bringing light to the corruption of the current regime there. And he is down as can be. He is dutiful to see this through. And I see him determined. So I think Alexei is a very determined man, and I think that he will hold to. I think his health will hold to in the near future. But it is under a great deal of stress with that 5 of Wands, to be sure. And here's Alexei. He's showing up in his own reading. He knows what he's doing, he's saying to me. But I say, I think, do you really? And he's like, yes, I do. All right. And you notice how these two cards are about clarity, and you can see the bird near the eye, and the bird often represents long sight, being long-sighted, being, having foresight. So I think that he's very tactical in what he's doing, and he's telling me not to worry about it so much, that he knows what he's doing. And this is the emperor. This is to deal with the Tsar Vladimir. And Vladdy Daddy is really kind of as silly as this emperor looks to me. He's really a big fluff ball and not such a tough guy. He'd like to come off like a tough guy, but and it's not that he couldn't be cold and tough, but that he's grown soft. There's something about this. He lets other people dirty their hands. He just tells them to do it and then enjoys that, but he doesn't have his own hands involved in it. So he's this elite criminal now, I guess. And has hold of rulership in Russia, leadership. That's showing up. His nasty ass. His Novichok loving nasty ass. And here's the Hierophant in Alexei's placement of hopes and fears. He hopes to teach. He hopes to serve as to bring attention, I believe, and wisdom to their plight and to the plight of what's going on in Russia, and for us to learn more about their government there and how they have been treating the people. I think this is also something he wants to share, make sure that the young people in Russia know the history, and so they can make their own decision and what they support. So he wants to share that wisdom. He doesn't want a government that can gaslight and lie about things and now narrate the truth the way that, so as long as it suits them, so to speak, so it's really not the truth. Yeah, that's his hope, is to have an impact. And the final end result is the Nine of Pentacles. And I see independence here. At the end of the day, I think he will be, for the foreseeable future, being held. But long term, I see him being independent and healthy, with the Nine of Pentacles, which I'm glad to say. And I feel like he will be his own boss. He will not be working for anyone, but he already does. He has his own, things he wants to do and ideas and whatnot, and he will thrive at it at the end of the day. But he is dutiful and true to his cause in the near future, and he is honest with the sun behind him. What you see is what you get with him. I really like him. I really do. He's, we can say we've had one extreme to the other. We have not that Alexei is perfect in any way, nobody is, but he's a good guy, a really, truly decent guy that cares about the truth, cares about his people, and is willing to put himself physically on the line. Got friggin' brass cojones, all right? And here we have Trump that is just, and Putin, that have become these big, pudgy softies that are just spoiled men that are infantile, that have, somebody else go do their dirty work, and, and they're nasty, they're mean, they're not grown men, they don't know anything of diplomacy. They have no true strength as an adult. They're just thugs. So I can see why he will end up doing well. Let's pull a couple extra cards for him. That gives me a lot of hope. Here's the Six of Swords, another card that says moving on. I think he may leave that area, which I wish he would. I know he's got to work, but I think he's going to need to try and work outside of it to help it at some point. And maybe that's what this is. Or maybe, hopefully, things will change enough there that he can remain there and get the change going in a new direction. But I tend to think, I'm feeling like he might have to temporarily, until Putin is not in power, live at another address and then maybe someday come back. I'm wondering if it doesn't go something like that. Yeah, the Hanged Man. So this is like, sorry, I keep flipping the cards as I grab them. So he's looking at, I think, a delay in living someplace else after he is somehow, I believe, released from that prison. But I think he's going to be in that prison for a while, or in a prison for a while, a good while yet. And then I think he's going to get released or have to go someplace else. But in the interim, there is a different perspective that is really important for him to have achieved. And I think there is something that he will have gained from this imprisonment that he will be able to move forward with in the future in a very positive way. That is a really powerful feeling I'm getting with regard to the imprisonment. It's like saying, well, it's really key, though, as negative as it is, and not pleasant to be in there, to be held. There is something key, and that it will add to the perspective, not only of himself, but other people about him and the situation. I do believe his health, though, does improve here. I can't deny that. I feel like he will improve. Does he get somebody to come in? Maybe. But I see somehow he dutifully endures, and then at the end of the day, he might get released. I don't know, he thrives, but he'll see that the being held was important to get things going in a better direction for his country, I think. Yes, for the society, because we get that Four of Wands. And here's the High Priestess. There are things that have yet to play out in society in response to Putin and in response to what they're doing to Navalny. And that's very key that we watch that. I feel like they're saying, whenever I'm shown a secret like that, it's like, hey, there's stuff yet that's to come out here. And the Chariot, this is to do with most certainly information coming out. It can be about travel and success, and very quick. This, I think this is a quick mobile response of a crowd towards some means of secretiveness in which they're holding him again. Could be something like that. I'm not quite clear, but I do see people mobilizing. Yes, the public mobilizing quickly against, and I think perhaps an outrage, but I don't know if this is Biden helping him or offering him asylum, quite possibly with that Chariot, or if this is Putin activating. Let's just see here. Taking something that, trying to hold him. I think that this could be more but I think this could be Putin, lashing back out at the people because he wants to hold on to power here. Okay, that makes sense. That's Putin and his military. And doesn't care, apathy, wants to retain his power, and doesn't care if he has to misuse his power to do it against the people. We have Page of Wands and Seven of Pentacles, but there's going to be a demand of reform, the economy, of big changes, and if he doesn't make those, I think this is what the people are wanting. I think he's going to have a problem on his hands. Knight of Cups and the Lovers, yeah. Choices. I think the reason Navalny is doing this because he really wants to puncture Putin's tires, really to get that, sped up. And he knows that within a certain measure how to do it. And I think that that's what I'm being shown. But it is going to take time yet. And that is the one thing we have to understand. I do see him enduring, but it's hard. And he will see it to the very end of it. And he's dealing also with disinformation here against him that will be put out. But it's pretty, I think, so I don't think it's going to fool anybody about who's saying that and where it's coming from. The world and the Eight of Swords. So the world will demand, I think, his release. I think it will grow. Because I think as we hear more and more, I think the world's going to get tired of it with Russia. I actually do. But we've still got a while yet. Yeah, and they demand an end. And that he be able to return to his family. Now, I don't think that this is an actual physical death here. Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords. Because I'm not getting any mourning, but I do think it is a release. And I do think he will have the effects of PTSD with that Nine of Swords. Insomnia. He's definitely got that. I mean, he's been tortured. That doesn't just get scrubbed away. Ten of Pentacles. The family. And the Magician. And writing. I think he's going to write his story. But also speak. He's going to use all these different avenues of communication to relate his story and to try to improve conditions for Russia. Let's just see. Eight of Cups. And the Page of Swords. I think there's going to be a very strong message about the abandonment of accountability and responsibility for a nation of people, and that it's time that they get someone who cares to create that structure. And this is a beautiful Hermit card. I think he's going to go at some point and just need to go and process off in nature. And I see him becoming just a very wise man. Two of Wands, who played a significant role in such a big change, a new opportunity coming in. That would be a huge change for their nation for as long as anyone could remember. It's what I'm getting for them. And they will go in a better direction. And I see trade. They will have happier trade policies and a healthier trade policy. And I see travel, people enjoying going there more. So I think they're going to open up more and still remain distinctly Russian, but become working on becoming a modern country and not one that's just jam-jammed together by careless tyrants. Yeah, I see the working on healing. So what else we got? Interesting. And he's going to be significant in helping Russia to heal. He is a huge person and we should all know him in history. Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, and the Eight of Wands. And he's going to kick off a new era in Russia. That will be very interesting to see. And the cards already let me know there's things they're not going to tell me that Russia will experience socially before things get better, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to leave that right there because I think that suffices. And I hope you're having a great day. And let's all, as well as get to know about our own country, make it a priority to help our friends over in Russia get rid of Vlad. All right? All right. If you like this content, please make sure you're subscribed. YouTube is buggy. It eats your comments. I'm not deleting them. And it's also unsubscribing you. I'm not doing that either. So double check your settings for every channel that you really enjoy, because it's likely it could be happening there too. All right. I'll see you in the next video.